Circles has really meant a lot to me, and being in Circles has changed my life. I feel like a normal person again. I feel productive and useful, and I enjoy going to work, I enjoy the meetings, and I enjoy the people. I feel that we are building social capital. We're making a better community because we're developing as friends, and some folks say family. Folks say family. Folks say family. I moved to Winston-Salem from Florida, and I had 2 children. I moved here and I got married, and I had more children. And I stayed at home and homeschooled and raised my children up to a point. I was married, and then I got divorced. So I went back to school because I just knew that going back to school was going to be the thing that was going to save me. And I chose to go to Winston-Salem State because it was convenient. It was going to be easy. The grant that I got was based on working afterwards. I did get a job at the Head Start, and they offered me to go back to school. I decided to go to High Point University to get into their Master's of Nonprofit Management program. That was really hard on my kids and my house because I was gone a lot. And the first go-round when I went to Winston-Salem State, they were younger, and they destroyed my house. Even my 2 youngest daughters at this point have said to me in heated arguments, they raised themselves. The organization I was working for paid for me to start school, and they paid for it just about halfway through. So I ended up having to take a $2,000 loan to finish paying for school. It wasn't that much. And I didn't get employed for 4 years. And it was devastating, and it was shocking, and it was totally unexpected. I tried to just move forward every day, and I was depressed a lot, disillusioned. You know, I'd gone through it with a lot of anger. Felt like I'd been lied to, that I did the things that I thought I was supposed to do, like go to school and get a degree and try to get a job, and it wasn't working. It felt like folks didn't see any value in me. It went into year 4, and I had lost so much. I had gotten tickets that I couldn't pay. I'd lost my driver's license. I had to park my vehicle for a while because I went to jail behind driving without a driver's license twice. And then there were times when I just didn't have the money to even pay a light bill and had loss of power. I cooked outside on a grill or a fire pit, which was challenging, and it was really like roughing it. But I tried to be very independent because my grown children have lives of their own. They have their own children, they have their own struggles, they working or not working, paying bills.
My name's Anisha. I am the oldest of her 7 kids. I'm 34. It seemed to get more stressful with each child that came. Well, she is definitely the backbone of this family. Everyone has stood on her shoulders at one point in time, if not all at the same time. Knowing the strength that she has and what she's been through, it gives me the strength to keep going. She has been through a lot. And still going through a lot. Excuse me. So I'm sitting there thinking about it. My mom has been through hell and back and still managed to keep this family together. And my mom put her life on hold for a lot of years, and still even putting her life on hold for the younger siblings, that still need her. And I feel like that's part of the reason why she's in some of the situations she's in, because she's put herself on the back burner to make sure her kids are okay. So you could see it gradually, you know, she wasn't as negative, or it just, you know, she was smiling more, or, you know, looked like she wasn't so exhausted, or, but it was around, I would say it was around the time of, you know, shortly before her getting hooked up with circles and going through that process.
What happened was one day a former coworker who had worked with me at the Head Start got in touch with me and said, you should see this new initiative called Circles, and you should be on one of the teams to get this thing going. So I went to a meeting and I said, I need to be in the program as a circle leader. And I told him my situation. I said, I am destitute. I have no money coming in. I have no money, and I have, you know, lost so much, and I need help, and I need support. And so I ended up being in the first class of circle leaders. It basically goes through, and you set your goals that you want to work on when you come out of there, out of that 12 weeks. But it also looks at how you think about money, your stereotypes, what your relationships have been like, and good and healthy relationships.
The other program we've started in the last 3 years is called Circles, and it's a little more ambitious. It's about recruiting families in poverty and working with them on their goals and on their situations, and actually matching them with allies to help them build a pathway out of poverty permanently.
So I met with them every week, once a week. Of course, they helped me with rides. They took me to the meetings on Thursday and picked me up for when we would meet on Mondays, and sometimes job interviews they would help me out with. I started facilitating meetings and helping out with that, and taking minutes and doing notes, and then the position came open, and I applied for it, and I got the position of the program coordinator, the Circles program coordinator. What I did, I realized where my fault was. My attitude had gotten really, really bad, which didn't help me. So that had to change, and it seemed like the whole universe changed around me after that. Things just started working out, and then everything was just more positive. But that was a process too, to realize that, to actually have someone else, my allies, tell me that wasn't helping me, and that was coming through really strong, and it was turning people off and turning people away.
And it started with her attitude. Once her attitude changed and she wasn't angry and in a pity party anymore, things started turning around, and she started making things happen, and doors started opening for her to be able to, you know, at least stick her head up over water a little bit.
So since I started working and I have some cash flow and some extra money, I started trying to fix up my house, and this is one of my projects that I'm painting my living room. So it was pretty soot covered because I had been using kerosene heaters to heat for a while, so it's got a lot of soot, but we're priming. I'm doing the work myself. 5 years, I hope that, in a few years, I hope that maybe one of my children will be living in the house, or either I'll be renting the house out to maybe some Winston-Salem State students, because this house has 4 or 5 bedrooms. And that I have a small business, that costume rental business that I'm slowly working on, and that I'm still helping people and still advocating for social justice and equity for folks. I'll probably always be doing that. You can see it, I guess. I have to take this off. I have to put it back on so I don't get paint in it. But so yeah, I don't do much to it.
Wow. And how long has that taken for it to get that long?
13 years. You know, I don't agree with a lot of things that I see in our country, and I do this to say I'm different. I'm different. I'm not quite with the status quo and the norm. So yeah.
Would you consider yourself an activist?
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
You could use that word now, yeah.
Not always. What kind
You can say always an activist that wasn't active. Because I was a stay-at-home mom. I stayed home with my kids, even though I saw things and I had, people always say, you're very opinionated. Yeah, I guess so, because I'm always thinking, I'm always questioning. You know, I'm that person that says, question authority. Don't take things at face value. That's me. So, yeah. That's what I think. It's the education and knowledge. Because I see that with circles, when we bring those allies and circle leaders together, and the allies learn so much from the circle leaders that are struggling in poverty, and their eyes are open, their perceptions, their attitudes change. I think it's huge just to bring people together.